everyone. Welcome back to week 10 of our course. Hard to believe that we are here already. This week, we're going to be talking about Canadian literacy and specifically some of the issues surrounding literacy in Canada, especially as they relate to young children and the work that we do as early childhood educators. So let's jump right in. In this course, we've discussed how when we talk about literacy, we're not just talking about reading and writing anymore. It's about communication, understanding information, and being able to fully participate in our communities, including digital and cultural literacy. We know that the early years are absolutely critical. And by the time children start school, big differences in literacy exposure and development have already appeared. That's why the early learning environment is so important, and it's where we can make the biggest difference. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk just briefly about the current state of literacy in Canada. There are some resources this week posted that will dive into a little bit more detail about this. Canada is often seen as a highly literate country, but that doesn't necessarily tell the full story. According to Statistics Canada, around 17% of adults struggle with basic literacy tasks, and those gaps start in early childhood. We see disparities across different communities. Children in low income households, Indigenous communities, newcomer families, and rural or northern areas often have less access to the resources and supports that foster literacy growth. So, even though Canada performs well overall, the literacy experience for young children can vary dramatically depending on where they live and the circumstances that they grow up in. So, some major issues in Canadian literacy. Number one, we've got socioeconomic inequality. Families who are facing financial hardship may not have access to as many books at home, not for lack of want, but due to not being able to afford to bring a variety of reading materials into the home. This may also impact the amount of time that families are spending reading together. This can affect vocabulary growth, comprehension, and confidence. As educators, we can help bridge that gap by creating literacy rich classrooms, spaces full of labels, stories, and opportunities for children to explore language. We can also support families by sending home free or borrowed books and suggesting simple daily literacy routines. Another topic of discussion in Canadian literacy is Indigenous literacy and language revitalization. So many Indigenous children still experience education systems that don't reflect their languages, stories, or cultural values. Colonization interrupted the natural transfer of Indigenous languages across generations. There's now a strong movement towards language revitalization and culturally relevant education, including Indigenous language immersion and storytelling led by elders. Next, we have multilingualism, that's a big word, and newcomer families. Canada's diversity is a strength, but it can also be a literacy challenge. Many children grow up speaking one language at home and learn English or French at school. Sometimes schools focus so much on the dominant language that the home languages are undervalued. We know, however, that maintaining a child's first language actually supports literacy in additional languages. So we can celebrate multilingualism, for example, by inviting families to share books, songs, or phrases in their home language. Another issue is the digital divide. Technology is part of children's lives from a young age, but not all families have equal access to digital tools or guidance on how to use them safely and effectively. In our classrooms, we can provide balanced digital experiences, interactive stories, audiobooks, or storytelling apps, while making sure that we also prioritize play, conversation, and real-world interactions. We also have a gender gap that starts early. Research often shows that boys engage less in reading activities or see them as less interesting. As educators, we can respond by offering a variety of reading materials, comics, nonfiction, storytelling through movement, to help all children find joy in literacy. Okay, so just a brief little chat. Those are just some of the issues that we're facing in Canada surrounding early literacy. So to wrap up, literacy is about equity. Every child deserves the chance to become a confident, joyful communicator, no matter their background. The work that we do in early childhood education lays the foundation for lifelong learning and participation in society. Okay, thanks for listening. Please go through the resources that we have this week. And please reach out if you have any issues or if there's anything that you need clarification on or just to say hi. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.